What it do, guys? Manjoume here from Team Thunder. Today we're building Mobile Suit Gundam Universal Unit Barbatos 4th Form 3B. I got this from a friend whom I think got it from a loot box of some sort. Looking at the box, there's a lot of Japanese, but more importantly we have Gundams, with our boy in the top left corner. Next, the sides also have a lot of Japanese text. The bottom has a barcode and not much else, while the top tells us what we'll be building. The back shows the full lineup of the Gundams in this series. I would have preferred the Alex Gundam with the blocky armor, but let's continue to the build.
Okay, so we've got the feet out, and I really doubt that it matters which foot, because they both look pretty similar. The legs, which should not be closed just yet, because we're going to need to put a piece in the middle to be able to complete the circuit, as it were. And these little balls are going to go into the feet. Now it looks like the piece that we need right now, go ahead and take this out, because it might actually be a little easier to understand what each piece looks like once it's not connected, because that does tend to simplify things just a bit. Personally, I like the steps to be laid out in front of me, just maybe because it's been a minute. You know, I haven't done one of these in a little bit. And then, I mean, this one clearly isn't too hard, but this is a pretty hard plastic. So we do need clippers here. And are they angled at all? Yeah. Oh yeah, that did not want to, and I might have even cut off a little too much there, but once that one is gone, this one is a not too strong piece. So I'm guessing once I cut this one, once again, not too strong piece, that's complete trash. Don't have to worry about that anymore. And I guess, yeah, after you cut the really strong one, like, it just kind of falls off, which is fine and, you know, kind of works out in our favor. Okay, so we need this part in the front because that's kind of our knee. So we're going off of this picture right here. So we need this part here. And then one of these. Oh, it's not super duper clear. I think this one will have to do. It just kind of pushes in, no real issue there. This might actually need to be removed. I think this might not actually need to be here. And that removes, yeah, that didn't need to be there. So sometimes you can get a little confused because this is just a place for a joint, or a joint rather. Okay, it looks like they might be specific to each side because this one goes here. And we just gotta close it up. And then you kind of put force on it, and then it eventually will have a pretty good seam, pretty good close. Not perfect, but I guess if you had like a glue, you'd be able to get that a little more fine-tuned, but I think that did a pretty good job. And then still a joint so they can pose. Okay, now we need a foot that'll go into, I guess, right here. Because of the way that it's designed, it looks kind of funky. But no, that had a little snap, and no, that's one leg. And I learned that these are kind of, yeah, these are definitely side specific because this is a bigger hole than this side. So and close it up. Yeah. Gotta just push on it. And then that's all done. And we can, I don't know if I can do it so that you can hear it. We can really hear it, but it's in. It's in, that's for sure. I have each one right here. And then there are stickers on here that we will apply, but we'll do that a little later. Doesn't matter. So we'll actually set these legs aside just for a second. And one thing that I think isn't super cool about this is that the body's already kind of built. That of course makes it a little easy. Actually, that B could stand for Barbatos, I don't know. Part of the fun with these is, you know, building it. And if a good deal of it's already kind of built, it's not as fun. And see how well this is textured. There's not, I mean, we can kind of see what's going on and kind of what it will end up being. Not super detailed, but I guess it's not supposed to be. Get this headpiece out. I'll save to put that one on because that one's probably going to be kind of flimsy. I don't want it to just fly off, so now this one's got what may, okay, these are just hands. Yeah, those are just balled up fisted hands. And then this was a kind of an articulated hand. And is there only 3 hands? Oh, how odd. And then we have his weapon, as well as, is that technically the staff right there? I don't know. But, more trash. More pieces, and that together with this must mean the arm. Because we have most of the body here. And then, if it doesn't matter, which I don't think it would, you put the legs together. Oh, these pieces just come right off and might kind of need to in order to get these pieces on. Yeah, well, but when they're in, though, that sounded pretty good. Yeah, that just kind of pushes on. You can kind of see how tall this dude's gonna be, which is not super tall. But now we're gonna have to finish him up with some arms. So that is one complete, I think, shoulder. So from the shoulder, we need one of these with the balls going this way. And it does seem to go into it. If I get the right pieces. Oh, I might be switched up. I'm gonna get both of these just in case. And get these fine-tuned. Yeah, just in case. Because it could have been the case where it was like they're both on the right side or they're on opposite sides because they're opposite pieces that go together. So, depending on the answer to that one, we're about to find out. If that one wouldn't really make sense. Goes with this one. It's gotta be this one, yeah. Okay, so we got that. Pretty small piece. You really think about it, and this will go into his arm. So that's a shoulder. Let's go ahead and make the other shoulder. And go ahead and create that bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. So 2 shoulder blades. Then we make the elbow, or the arm, going into where the elbow is gonna be, and we can actually clean it up just a little bit. That looks much, much better. Then have another one right here. Yeah. Then another arm, and what is probably the forearm and other piece. This one feels really rough, so I have to break it off like that. Oh wow, that just came clean off. Feels good, feels good. I like that. And I'm sure at this point it's just a pretty simple put it on. Not this side. Yeah, because it's always going to be one side fits and the other one does not. Just kind of weird, but that's how it goes. These are weird. See how they're different sized pieces, but they actually go together, which is the weirdest part because it completes each other pretty well. Doesn't make a super clean fit, although maybe if I just push harder, it'll make a cleaner fit. I think I might have actually, yeah. Did I do that backwards? No, I think that was right. I think that was a back piece. So, likewise on the other arm, doesn't matter. Guess this one should be in the... Assuming this part goes on the outside, which no reason to believe it doesn't. Then put this piece on. Then one of these bad boys to complete it. And to put the arm in the socket and on both sides. There you go. And we're mostly done with this guy. See how he's turning out so far. Looking pretty good. Now this must, the way this goes, there's a hole and then there's a piece. I think we just kind of shove it in his brain. Yep, that's all it was. You just kind of shoved it in. Now this guy is missing a very important feature, that's hands. Now we do have a couple of options for that. In here, we have a very basic kind of fist that would be holding something. Get two of them. Grab both of them. Take a look. That works. And yeah, that works. That's pretty neat. We do have one other hand. Kind of like that motion. pretty cool. Then we have this. Now, getting this thing off is gonna be a testament of my ability to do so. Okay, so once one started going, the other one went pretty quick too, and that actually about as perfect as you could get it. Pretty sure that piece needs to stay, and so does that. I want to say this does not belong, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this one doesn't belong. Yeah, at least I hope it doesn't, because now they're gone. Oh boy. And yeah, it fits in his arm. He holds it really well. It's really tall. Now, due to the picture, leads me to believe, the hand right there, that there's kind of other forms? Maybe one more form, because there's this one with a different weapon, and that says A, and this says B. I'm guessing I got B because I don't have that very odd looking other weapon here. So you get him with one weapon. I don't know how this is, but maybe you're supposed to hold it like that, lower, and then have him kind of, because that makes me think when it's right there that it would go like that, unless that clip is meant to hold it kind of like a holster. Though I'd have to see if there's actually a place to hold it on the unit itself, which would maybe be on the back. Yeah, it just looks like he's holding it there because there's an A and there's a B. We definitely didn't get all that stuff with the extra bits. So maybe it's a thing where you get two of them, two of each, because one comes with that piece and the gun. The other one just has armor. Same here, you have the rifle and then there you have a bazooka. So it looks like these do come in pairs within, by themselves. Which is kind of cool. Though it doesn't look like this guy can hold this outside of literally holding it. Luckily, the joints are pretty good, so you can actually have him in a stance to where he could hold it if he needs to. And he's not going to let that go. And I like that. It's pretty good. Now let's set those aside. Set the hand and the gun aside for a second. We don't want to lose either of those. But we do have a sticker packet. And I want to figure out where to put all these stickers. Okay, these number 9, these red pieces, go on the foot. Now this one's probably a case where I think I'd probably prefer to probably just color it. Get a marker or something. But the red does add a good bit of color, and it's not too difficult. One of the cool things about these is that there are numbers. I don't know if you can tell, but there are numbers, and in here there are numbers, and it corresponds to which one you should be using where. And that really does help when it comes to making these things. And I'm doing the red ones first, because they're already kind of falling out. Pretty good. It's a little bit of color, but honestly not much. So let's just go ahead and put the other one on. Not perfect, but yeah, pretty good job. I think another good thing to keep in mind is when you're shaving off bits, make sure it's pretty smooth so when you put on a sticker like that, it doesn't kind of bleed through, kind of stick through. That one stuck through a bit. It does kind of mess up the look because it's kind of poking through. But that's my bad, and I'll live up to it. Now, I can put this piece back on, but since it seems to be a problem at times, I'm going to leave it off for now. You put it back later. Now, number 4 are the kneecaps. And those seem to be more or less defined on the Gundam itself. Right here, and that's purely a case where I think it probably does look just better if you just paint it. Because a sticker eventually will just come off. I don't think stickers are meant to last forever. Especially with the quality of the stickers are probably not super great. But I can press into them as much as I want. And hopefully they stick, and that does add. The shininess does add a bit to it, and any kind of detail adding to this is gonna make it feel a whole lot better. Now, what is left here? We have number 1. Where does number 1 go? Number 1 goes, oh, okay. Goes right underneath right there. So, it's so small that this one is going to be a pain to put on because I need to position it on my fingers in a way that I can even get it to go on. I think I can get it. Okay, so you can see it's placed right there, and that's kind of good. And I just need a way to apply pressure, to get it to stay in place and adhere to that entire surface. I think I did a pretty good job at that. I think that's pretty good. And yeah, that red really does make it pop. An area of the body where otherwise was just kind of plain. Remember how plain it looked a second ago? This is looking a lot better. Each hip piece needs one black square. Yep, that's a black square. I mean, you barely see it. And honestly, this is one of the ones where you could just probably get a black permanent marker or black Gundam marker, probably a little better than that, and just do it that way. Luckily, you can make him bend in such a way that he'll actually be not too hard to put the sticker on with. And it looks like we picked about the right spot to do it on. And yeah, once again, it makes it pop a little bit. Though we didn't actually need too much on this piece. Okay, what's the next one? We still have 2, 3, and 7 left. Okay, looks like number 3 is on the forearms. I don't know why we need this, but it looks like it's right underneath the elbow, so right at this weird place on the forearm. Right there. I mean, it's something, but it's not super substantial. And once again, we could have just used a marker, and we might actually have to, because since this is where parts come together, if they were to loosen or kind of get any kind of thing that could happen here, the adhesiveness could kind of give way. And honestly, it just feels more like a band-aid than anything else. But, you know what? It adds a little bit to it. And I do kind of enjoy this. Now, we're pretty much running low. We have 2, and this has got to be on the shoulder blade if I could ever imagine. As well as some 7 pieces, which they could be kneecaps. There no, a little bit in the shin, another place on the arm. We'll see. Well, that's number 3. Oh, number 7, once again, is on the foot. I guess they cared a little more about the feet than I thought. Now, since there's a lot of canvas to work with, I have to see specifically where it's to be added. It's on the front piece. Okay, it makes sense. Now, since it doesn't matter what side, I'm gonna just start with any. Luckily, this one kind of sit in to where it needs to go, the groove. That kind of looks pretty good. It's kind of have an M shape going on, and I think that's pretty cool. Ooh, but this one was starting to come off. That's not good. Though, once again, I love the fact that it started to sit in the kind of groove that it needs to. So it looks pretty good. From the sides, you get to see a little more detailing, but not too much. Now we are only left with number 2. We need to see what that is. And right there, number 2 is on the shoulder blades with the divot going downward. So, and there is a kind of loose picture going on. So let's take it out. And I like how there's little notches in this so that you can push it down and it actually sort of conform to the shape that you're trying to put it in. But since you're trying to put on a kind of more of a rounded surface, it kind of sits a little funky. I don't love this one. This piece, I probably should have put this on before putting on the arm, because in fact, wow, that didn't want to let go. But in order for it to fit all the way, I'm gonna press down as much as I can. It's gonna make it look a little funky in the end. But it staying on, I think, is a little more important. Yeah, I think that's gonna stick, and it looks alright. Looks alright, and learning that the joint was actually that strong was a little surprising. Wow, it takes more than a little bit of effort to do that. Final sticker, and we're about done. Now, applying more pressure to this to help it stick, because if you don't put enough pressure, it's just going to start sliding around and won't adhere, and you're going to waste the adhesion. But if you press enough, it'll get stuck and adhere to the surface, and you're going to need to do that because it's just dumb plastic, so go back into the socket. And we've got Barbatos. Looking pretty good. You know, the accents that I didn't super love at first do add a little bit and have certain pieces to stick out. And we can give him a weapon, which is just enormously long. We give him his back piece again because now he'll actually need it for some protection. And we do have the one hand. One thing I think is cool and kind of a curse about, you know, the Gundams that come with the extra hands is that, you know what, you can put them in different poses. That's cool. The fact that these can go missing and then that feature mean absolutely nothing, not so cool. I wish they did come with a little receptacle to put them in. For now, since I work somewhere where we get little baggies to replace camera lenses, I could just get one of those baggies that's normally thrown away and just keep these in here, which is what I've been doing. I'll have to get one of these days, but that is it. Comparing the, 2017-18 Barbatos to the, I think, 98 or early 2000s, more than a decade at least, heavy arms that we've built before, whose kind of arm is just kind of dangly. It does not even lock into place anymore. It's just, I think it fell, and now nothing. But yeah, there is a great deal of detail that you see here, over here, although there are lots of lines and kind of the way the plastic is molded, to where if you just got some paint, you can really get a lot out of this, as well as heavy arms in general, and I think most of them from Wing Gundam having a mostly simple design until you get something like a high grade or even a heavy grade, where they just add a few more details and things are a little more precise, and you need to kind of darken lines or kind of paint it in such a way. Well guys, this is it for the UN2 Universal Unit ASW-G-08 Gundam Barbatos. If you want to stay up to date on my videos and live streams on both YouTube and Twitch, check out the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining. That's all for now, guys. Manjoume out.